I'm in the moment, I'm feeling it, and I don't want to fucking dwell on this anymore. So, I'm just gonna fucking say it because I have actually recorded this many times. I've thought about posting this video many times, but I didn't want to do anything because you know what? I actually kind of sometimes care about my ex in some ways. Sometimes I think, you know what? I don't want their future to be totally ruined because of something I said. But they don't give me that same kind of care. They don't give me that. No. They unlike they treated me a certain way before when we were dating, like I was just the perfect person and that, they would never do anything to me, but then they just completely complete shift into this horrible nightmare fucking person. So, you know what? Let me share my fucking story. I might need to smoke some weed during this because it's stressful. And this individual, I am so fucking pissed right now. I knew it was a matter of time. See, the thing with abusive people is they're really fucking predictable, okay? I knew it was a matter of time that they were gonna make some sort of call-out post. They were gonna find some way to victimize themselves in this situation. So let me preempt this by going over the things that I did that were shitty. Okay, so let me tell you. Let's see. I liked girls more, and I was still with them. I wasn't hoping that they would become a girl or anything like that. I was with them because I was hoping maybe I would, well, on the one hand, I thought that they were feminine, but also I was hoping maybe I could love them as a guy if I tried to. But it's not even about their masculinity. As I've said before, it's not about their masculinity, okay? It's not about that. It's about who they are, because they take off this mask of this feminine, flowery person, and they're actually just this creepy, weaselly fuck. This weird, like, I don't know, antisocial fuck, who just, like, I don't know, like, just wants to use people. Like, that's it. They don't care about anything else. They just care about getting attention, and I don't know. That's it. Like, that's what I saw. That was who they were. That's what they would become whenever they would reveal who they really were. And I wasn't willing to stay around for that. Also, I don't know. Personally, it's just the change to me from them being feminine to, like, I don't know, being less feminine. Like, I don't know. I wasn't that attracted to them. I don't know how else to say this. Like, that's just how it was. I just was not attracted to them anymore at that point in time. So I just, like, I wanted to break up with them. Many times I tried to break up with them because I didn't want to hurt them, because it fucking sucked that I felt this way. I wanted to be with girls, but then they, weren't. I wanted to be with girls and more feminine people, and they aren't that, and so I would try to break up with them, and then they would gaslight me and guilt trip me into being with them again, and pretend they could be these things, that we were actually meant to be with each other and shit. So, whatever. I was a very delusional person back then, okay? I was an extremely delusional person back then. I'm really sorry that my delusions hurt other people and has affected other people. It hasn't just affected them. It's affected many other people, okay? And I don't know. It really sucks. But I don't know if I could really say that makes me abusive. Just because I have a lot of delusions? I don't know. So when we started dating, I really believed in a lot of, like, MK Ultra stuff. I never, like, knew about, like, I never knew that, like, any of that conspiracy theory stuff was supposed to, like, lead me to Jewish question stuff. I thought it was just literally, like, the billionaires, like, Republican billionaires are bad, and they're, brainwashing children and raping them and stuff. Like, that's what I thought it was, because I didn't look into it much, and I was like, this is the most intuitive thing, but then other people, apparently it was supposed to lead me to a different conclusion. Whatever. But, I used to I used to believe, like, all of this shit, right? And thinking that, like, oh, there's people who are trying to take me away in the night and drug me and shit and, like, rape me and program me to become, I don't know, something, you know? And so I told them all of my fears, and they just believed the shit along with me. Like, there was never a point in time where they tried to, like, second guess me or, like, anything like that. There was never anything like that. They just believed it along with me, which, okay, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, if you just believed it with me, if you're just as dumb as me, too, then awesome. But, like, I don't know, that kind of makes me think that maybe you, like, saw me being this very vulnerable person who's able to adapt information, like, really easily, and you were like, oh, I could use this to my advantage, so if I play along, you know, like, that's what it kind of feels like to me personally. But anyways, I'm going over the things that I did wrong. So there was a time we were tripping on shrooms and I, like, growled at them or something. I don't know. That was one thing. I don't know. I growled at them. It was this thing that happened. I don't know. I don't know if it happened after they sexually assaulted me or before. But if it happened afterwards, then that says a lot, I think. And I know they also, I think, bring up that I threw something at them. I don't remember doing that, but maybe that happened. And if that happened, I know that that happened after they sexually assaulted me. So, I don't know. Let me just say this. The only person I have ever physically gotten violent with is my brother, who sexually assaulted me when I was a child. That is the only person I have ever physically gotten violent with, okay? You really fucking think me getting violent or wanting to be violent with this individual? You really? Because, like, I should have done so much worse. I was so lenient to this fucking individual. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Fuck you. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit individual. Fuck you. You are irredeemable as shit. Fuck you. There is nothing good about you. You are a horrible person. You pretend to be this good person so much. That's why you that's why you hate people. You hate so many people because a lot of them are just actually good people and you just don't like them because they're being good people naturally, whereas you have to fucking fake it. You get all of your information from Tumblr. You get all of your way how to act from Tumblr. You know, Tumblr tells you how to be a good person, and then you just absorb it, and you're like, okay, if I act this way, I'll be a good person, rather than coming up with your own morals or learning your own lessons or anything like that. It's just like this guise to, like, make you easily hide into this crowd of people and act like you're this good person because you can take on all these traits of other people and pretend you're a good person, right? Without actually ever having to address any of the shit you've done to people, right? Like, how about, like, you can think however the fuck you want about me, but how about using my fucking mom? What's up with that? Why'd you use my fucking mom? What's fucking wrong with you? Why did you use my fucking mom? What is wrong with you? What is fucking wrong with you? I understand. I get it. You know, like, don't tell people to go to therapy because some people can't afford it. Well, I really desperately hope that this individual gets some form of professional help because they have some fucked up version of boundaries. They have some really fucked up version of boundaries, okay? My mom does not like you. My family does not like you. I don't know if you think that, oh, well, maybe if I give my, give the maybe if I give Nana back her, like, late husband's jacket, maybe they'll, like, still like me, but I don't have to give, Snake anything. I don't have to give any of his things back. I just have to give back this jacket to, his grandma, because it'll make her like me and them hate him more. No. That's not what happened. They don't fucking like you. This wasn't even, like, the least you could have done. This wasn't even, like, reparations or anything. This was, like, throwing like a pebble onto a pile of rocks. Like, it did nothing. It added nothing. There's nothing. You added nothing to this. You've not manipulated them to like you more. You've done nothing. My family does not like you. You used my family. My mother gave you so much shit. My mother bought you so much shit, dude. So much shit. And you don't give a fuck. You think you're owed that shit. You think you're fucking owed this shit. You think you fucking deserve this shit. You think you are entitled to it. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck let you in my house and let you use my mom? Who the fuck gave you these manners? Who the fuck told you that this shit was okay? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Holy fuck. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I keep going off because I'm so mad. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. I knew they were gonna do, because it's not even like a thing where like they actually want to call me out. You know why they're doing it? They realize that, you know, time's been going on for a long time, and I'm not that affected by them anymore, so they gotta, you know, ignite the flames again and get everybody to care about them and feel sympathetic for them, because they're the eternal victim all the time, you know, poor Matt, oh, poor Matt, fuck. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, can you ever acknowledge your own actions and things? Your own participation in things? What, like, you enabled so much shit in me. Like, if it, first of all, it was the conspiracy theory shit. You never questioned any of that. You never said anything about that. You never, you enabled that the fuck out of me. I used to not be as paranoid about that shit at my mom's house because my mom just did not believe in that shit, right? But, like, you believed in it with me. You encouraged it with me. So now I was extra paranoid when I was living with you, right? That was really fun. You know, anything to get me more scared of everybody on the outside, right? You know, anything. You know, anything. You know, I really do, you know, it's really funny. It's really funny to me. It's really funny. It's really fucking funny, dude. It's really fucking funny. I'm laughing very hard. I don't, like, where do you get off? Where do you get off being this kind of fucking manipulative piece of shit? And the thing is, I know that me saying anything is, it's a fruitless, it's worthless. There's no point. There's no point, because people have already decided that they're the good person because they're like an NB person who isn't on testosterone and stuff, and you know, like, they're the good NB who draws all these cute things. How could they be bad? And I mean, look at Snake. Oh my god, he draws all these gory pictures. Surely he's the one who's bad. No, I see, the thing is, it's probably better to express your emotions rather than, I don't know, this cold anger where you're just withholding your emotions and you just hold all that anger in and then you just wait until, what day is it today? It is July 5th. Until you wait, I don't know if they even released it today. Until you wait till July 2020 to attack somebody else. Because someone must pay for making you angry, right? Right? Someone must pay. Like, I've got it all figured out. I've lived with abusive people, okay? I know how this works. It's really fucking obvious. They remind me of my sister in many ways. But also, like, of my dad, too. I don't know. I don't know. Just bad. Like, okay, so let me actually keep this in a cohesive story because I'm too angry to fucking function right now. Oh my god. At least I have emotions. At least I express them. That's really fun. I really like that. I like that a lot. I love having emotions. But you know, it's just you know, it's just very interesting how you just, you know, like they think that, like, I don't know, they just want to act like I have the worst intentions in the world for whatever reason, and I can't be bothered. I don't know. I know. Like, I've let this shit go for a long time. Well, I've been trying to let it go for a long time because this shit, obviously still haunts me for very obvious reasons, right? You know, but like, you know, like how do you do these things? How do you do these manipulate people this much? Like I don't know. Like okay, so I keep getting sidetracked. They think that I was trying to keep them away from their friends, which is bullshit because I didn't give a fuck who they hung out with. They had like friends over all the time. The thing is, they would tell me about these people that they lived with. I'm gonna say their names this time because they've already, called me out. So why the fuck not call them out by fucking name, Matthew? Matthew. um, they're one of their friends now. Like that's the name I know her by. I don't know. I think she might have changed it, but I don't remember what she changed it to. I don't know. She told me a lot of weird, fucked up shit about Nell. Like, Nell did something creepy while they told me. I'm sorry. Fuck. Everybody's pronouns. Whatever. I know it's probably gonna make me look bad, but I don't give a fuck. Because everyone's pronouns. Yeah. Anyways, they, they told me a lot of fucked up shit about Nell, okay? Like, that they were in bed with Nell one time, and she did some weird shit with them. I don't know. I don't remember the details, but it was some weird shit where they were in bed together. I don't know. And my first response whenever somebody does something fucking weird or fucked up is I retreat, okay? Like, I'm really, this is my toxic trait, is that I am scared as fuck of people. So instead of dealing with confrontation, is I will usually just retreat, okay? So my advice to other people is just to retreat for the most part. Like if someone's being fucked up, then just leave, just retreat. That's the best thing you can do because you don't have to deal with it anymore. And yeah, that's that, you know? So, like, they would tell me these things about Nell or Frankie, who, I don't know, they had a weird rape relationship with, when they were growing up. So here's this whole thing, their comics, all of their OCs are rapists, actually, in their original notebooks from their childhood. All of them are rapists, all of those characters, Jack, Matt, Dez, all of them are rapists. Vincent, their Sonic OC, they're all rapists. Like, oh, and Perry, especially Perry. Perry is definitely a fucking rapist. Yeah, they're all rapists, and so they would roleplay as these rapist characters with their best friend, and they would have this weird rape relationship with their best friend where they would rape each other, basically. I don't know. They have, I will just say that is definitely fucked up their concept of boundaries, for sure, as I will explain later. God, fucking... This shit pisses me off so much. I try not to get very worked up and emotional about it, because, it's frustrating because all of their little, what they do is they take pieces of the truth and then they put lies in there too, so then they can make it seem like, so then I have to do extra work of explaining things and being like, oh, like, well, this is true, but this isn't, and it just makes me look, it's the whole manipulative thing. I've looked it all up. I've learned everything about narcissists and everything. This is what they are. Like, this is just what they're doing. Like, this is... Yeah. They want to paint me in the worst image. I highly doubt that they're just this delusional and have forgotten this much. I really just think that they are lying at this point. Like, at first I thought that they just were forgetting things, but... No, at this point they're just lying. They're just lying at this point. So, whatever. So... Where was I going? I don't know. I've been all over the place in this because I'm, whatever. So yeah, they told me all this fucked up shit about Nell, David, Frankie. They were all terrible people. They were all toxic. David was abusive. Nell was weird and made them uncomfortable, and by proxy made me uncomfortable and made me notice things that, like, I weren't really there about Nell, because... I was delusional. And you see, my mindset at this time was, So there's a lot of layers to this. So I have, ever since my brother sexually assaulted me well, raped me when I was a child, he also introduced me to rape porn, and so like my idea of sex was just skewed off the bat when I was like 11, right? And so I had a tendency to mutilate my own genitals, basically, um, because I thought that the pain was normal and that pain would lead to pleasure. That's how it works, like that's the way it works. It's supposed to be painful, basically. And so it just kept growing and growing, and then also I picked up self-harming tendencies, such as cutting myself and other things. And then the two just eventually mixed together. And so what my mind did to, like, I think protect myself was to make, whenever this happened where I would hurt myself in my own genitals, to like trick myself into thinking that the person hurting me was actually my villain character from my comic, so that I could, focus that energy on hating an outside force rather than wanting to kill myself, basically. Because if I could, like, believe that, the character's name is Zero. If I could believe that Zero was the one hurting me, and that, all of this stuff, the reason I am like this and I hurt myself like this is because there are outside influences, which is kind of true. Like my brother introduced that shit to me. There's people on the outside who are drawing this gross shit, that if I just conglomerated it into one being that was hurting me, then it just made things easier for me, okay? It just made me dealing with my pain easier, and it made me stop doing that, actually, more, because I became scared of doing it. I'm scared of that character, basically everything, And so I'm scared of this character. Like I'm actually paranoid of this character, right? Like I'm deluded to the point where I think, so I also thought that law of attraction was a thing. So I was deluded to the point thinking that, oh, well, he is real, actually, and he's watching me all the time, and he's there, he's real, he's one of the people who are monarch programming me. He's the person who's drugging me and taking me away at night and raping me and trying to program me and shit like that. So I was paranoid of this shit. I always looked out my window looking for him. I always thought I saw him in the corner of my eye, shit like that, It was really fun. And so, like, I don't know, there would be things about different people, and their cat, that reminded me of this character, and it would turn me the fuck off from anything, like anything that, like, any inkling of anything that would remind me of this character would turn me off. Like, just the fact that Matt wanted, like, a cloud lamp one time scared the fuck out of me and made me think, oh no, this person is actually, yeah. So, yeah, like, anything resembling clouds, or, like, I don't know, his crystal powers and, like, his weird fashion sense. I don't know, he has, like, a weird, I don't know, but his hair mostly, and his, like, I don't know, face, and, like, his attitude, stuff like that. I don't know. Shit scares me. So, like, their cat, like, we would make jokes that their cat, like, was Zero, right? Because their cat was really weird. Like, their cat was, like, really weird. Like, I don't know, their cat would, like, hump stuffed animals and stuff, and it made me really uncomfortable. I don't know. And, so that kind of got implanted in my mind, and I thought that their cat was bad, and I wanted their cat basically to stay away from me at any cost, because I was scared I was going to wake up in the middle of the night to the cat humping on me. I know that that is probably an irrational fear, but, it's... there's a lot of irrationalities when it comes to sexual abuse, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't want this to happen. I wanted the cat away from me. I would always try to keep the cat away from me. I just did not want the cat near me. I didn't like when I would wake up from a nap and the cat would be next to me. That freaked me out. It freaked me the fuck out. I didn't like it. So I was, maybe too unfair to this cat. I'll be honest. I wasn't the best to this cat. Like, I was pretty shitty. Like, I would growl at this cat a lot. I would hiss at the cat. I would try to corner the cat, just to make it. I wanted to make it clear that if the cat got anywhere near me, it would get this reaction. Just stay away from me. Just stay away from me in general. And it wasn't fair because we were blocking the cat away into the other room. But here's the thing. They enabled all of this. There was never a point where they were trying to fight me against this or fight any of this. They thought it was funny. They would laugh whenever I would growl at him or hiss at him. They thought it was funny. And I don't know, maybe they thought it was bad secretly. But if you felt that way, then you should have fucking said something. What the fuck? What is wrong with people? Why do you let people do things? Just say something. Even if I didn't listen, I would have internalized it. Even if I'm sorry, I just looked at the chat. I'm turned around because I don't want to focus on my computer right now. So yeah, even even if like I already forgot what I was saying. I got distracted. Like fuck. So the cat. So yeah, even if I would not have listened, like if you told me and we were like, you know, you should not treat my cat this way. I don't like that you treat my cat this way. Stop treating my cat this way. If you would have said this to me, and even if I didn't listen, I still would have internalized it because I internalize any kind of criticism I get from anybody. Okay, I internalize criticism that isn't even directed at me on Twitter. Okay. I internalize a lot of shit because I don't like being a shitty person. I really don't, okay? But, like, that would have been hard for me because they've already enabled me this much so far. They've already, this entire time, been okay with me treating their cat this way, right? I don't know. Like, I know it was in my head. Like, there were many times where, like, I was like, am I being too harsh? Like, I don't know. And there were times where I would, like, try to pet him and be nice to him and everything, but I don't know. It's just, I don't want to wake up with the cat humping me. I don't want to wake up with the cat humping me. I don't want to wake up. That made me so... I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I just didn't want it. I didn't want it. I did not want it. I did not want it. It just made me so fucking... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that make me really uncomfortable, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. I just... So... So there would be times where so yeah, like I would demonize the cat. I didn't want the cat around me. I still like felt for this cat, and I wanted them to have a good relationship with their cat, and I just did not want the cat around me. I didn't know how. I also just did not know that much about cats. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that much about cats. I've been educating myself, actually. I've been watching a lot of Jackson Galaxy's videos, because he does a lot of cat videos. I've been watching a lot of that stuff, and it's taught me a lot of things about cats, and it's helped me a lot because I don't understand a lot of cat behavior. I'm used to dogs. Dogs are very intuitive to me. They're very easy to understand. Cats are very fucking weird. They don't have facial expressions. I don't know how to read them. So yeah, it's been helpful, and I know that there probably could have been better ways for me to teach the cat to stay away from me, but I did not know that at the time. And yeah, I really regret that. I do regret treating that cat that way. You know, that was really shitty. That was another shitty thing I did. I don't know. I can't really think of... that's really... I've tried, because I've been at this for 2 years. 2 years I've been at this. Where I've been trying to figure out why I'm so evil and bad to them. And I can't figure it out. There was a time when we were breaking up, I wanted to be alone. I didn't want them to talk to me, and we already made it clear that if someone's angry, they should probably go to their room to chill out for a second so they can gather their thoughts and then come back and explain their feelings in a more chill way without getting worked up, right? So I wanted to do that. But for some reason, at this specific point in time, they weren't allowing me to do that. And they were grabbing on my arm, and they were like, please, please, and they were crying and shit. And I was just like, leave me the fuck alone. And I locked myself in my room. And I yelled at them. And that was that. And they were crying. And I don't know. That was that. And that was it. I don't know. Like, I don't know how that's fucking abusive, dude. I don't know. I wanted some fucking space. It's kind of fucking, like, manipulative and guilt-trippy of you to act the way you fucking did. I don't know. Like, what? I yelled, so I'm abusive? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm an expressive person, okay? You should have known this from the fucking start, okay? If you felt threatened by me at any point in time, there was... It should have become obvious, because, listen. I'm weird. I'm kind of weird with knives. I like knives. I like to stab wood sometimes. And so sometimes there was this one time when we were dating, I was just stabbing the wall in my room, and I was in this disassociative state, and I think I don't know if that's really me liking knives or just me, I don't know, being weird with knives. I was just stabbing the wall. It was just a thing. I don't know. But, like, if you felt threatened by that at any point, like, that should have been your sign. If you felt like I was this threatening person that could possibly hurt you, I feel like that, like, I know that sounds bad, but it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe you just did not, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm a dangerous person, personally. And now this has turned into a whole different thing. I don't think, when, the only time I've ever become violent with anybody, like I said, was with my brother, right? So, I don't know. Maybe if you felt threatened, maybe that says a little bit about you personally. Like, I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel about it, because I don't have this urge to go hurt people. I don't have that urge unless they have hurt me. Then I really want to hurt them sometimes, because holy shit, does that shit piss me off. I am so mad that I let you hurt me. I am so fucking mad I let you hurt me. Because I thought I was wise. I thought I had my shit together. I thought I knew everything about narcissists. I thought I knew when I would find somebody who's manipulating me. I thought it'd be so obvious, I'm so mad that I'm actually dumb, and I let that happen. I'm so upset about that. I'm really fucking pissed. Yeah, it's really fucking upsetting. So, anyways, let me tell this like a cohesive story, actually. So, cat stuff. Anyways, so David was shitty, right? And so they were moving out from David and Nell's place, right? And so, so David and Nell were, I don't know, toxic, I guess. But Nell wasn't that bad at that time, but it seemed like we were both coming up with, like, these theories about Nell, but it wasn't because we actually thought Nell was bad. It was just because we wanted alone time with each other, and Nell kind of intruded on that a lot. That's what it kind of felt like to me, personally. Because I know that they were doing the same thing. They were making the same excuses. They were, I wasn't the only one complicit in this. And if they act like they are, they're such a fucking bullshitter. They act so fucking in it. It's so fucking funny. I wish I could just show people what they're really like. But I can't, because they don't ever give anybody a glimpse into their life besides how other people are hurting them, right? So, like, I can't show people what they're really like. God, but they're so shitty. They're so fucking toxic. I don't know. I can't explain it. You have to have lived with them and have been isolated with them, and you would have to have lived with them for like 2+ years to know, basically, because they didn't really show that stuff. It didn't become obvious to me until after 2 years, basically. I need a drink of water. Okay, so God, it's a lot. There's a lot. So, I don't know. What else? So, they were gonna move out from David and Nell's place that they were living in, because that place was kind of gross. I just thought the place was gross in general, because I don't like living any place that has people who can smoke cigarettes inside. That's really shitty. I don't understand why that's ever allowed anywhere, but, whatever. I guess poor people with asthma don't matter, right? So, anyways, not that I have asthma, but I'm just saying, like, why would you allow that to, why? What is wrong? Anyways, that's a different discussion. So, yeah, they were trying to move out of that place because David was shitty, but it wasn't even just because of David. I don't remember. They just wanted to move out. Maybe it was because of Nell. I don't know. David and Nell fought a lot, like all the time. They had a whole history. I don't remember a lot of it, but they worked together, and it was a whole thing. And David has a whole power thing, and that's that. I don't care. Irrelevant people, you know. To the story at least, they're relevant. And so they were gonna go move in with David into this new apartment, right? And so eventually, I'm talking with them. This is around the time when we started actually dating, because before that we were like only kind of flirting with each other, and I ended up dating someone else in the group and then breaking up with them, and then there was a whole drama with that because apparently you're not supposed to try to date someone after a week of breaking up with somebody, which I didn't know because I don't watch enough teen drama movies apparently. Anyways, there's a lot. There's so much. It's just so much. There's so much. So then, I start talking to them more, and we get some more alone time because this group dropped us. But then, like, their other friend Nathan was still hanging out with us, and Nell was still hanging out with us, and shit like that. And so, they basically, where the fuck was I? I'm getting so distracted. Oh my god. I'm just so triggered right now. Like, I don't know. This is just like, I don't know. It just feels like more of their abuse. It just feels like it's all coming back. And I just wanted to leave, and I just wanted them to be aware that they sexually assaulted me, and then go. Like, that's it. I didn't necessarily need other people to know. I just wanted them to know that this is what happened because they apparently forgot, or are pretending they forgot to seem innocent because, yeah. So, whatever. God, so go move in. Sad. David was shitty. They were talking to me. We had a lot more alone time, stuff like that. We hung out at my mom's house. We had a great time there, I guess. And so eventually, we just sort of get David to move out and go live with somewhere else, and I go live with them instead because my brother was threatening to fight me because I called him a misogynist online, basically, and I needed to get out of that house, basically. Not that it seemed like it was an immediate threat, but, also my family is kind of abusive, but not, whatever, not as bad as this person, whatever. I go live with them, and this place sucks because, again, people are just smoking inside because apparently apartments just allow that for some reason. I don't know. I'm really triggered by cigarettes because my dad used to smoke them all the time. And yeah, this is the thing. So here's the thing about, like, narcissists that I learned is they want to mirror you in the beginning, especially because they want you to feel a sense of familiarity. And I didn't think of it as mirroring at first because it was just like, oh, well, they just, happen to have a lot of the same interests as me. That's really cool. And then, there's a point where it's just like this cute little cultural thing to, like, like mirror your partner. But then there's a line. There is a line, and they crossed it, okay? And so, it started out cute, right? It started out like this cute thing, right? And I don't know, it also could have been a thing where they felt more safe being a guy around me, because I was an out trans guy, right? And, like, maybe they felt like they could be a guy more, but even though I wanted them to express themselves and be a guy more if they wanted to, it's just like I'm not interested. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to date you. Then I don't know. And also, more to that, like, if I feel like you remind me of me too much, I don't want to be with you. Like, I don't care if you go out and I don't, like, I wouldn't, I don't even care if they go out and they dressed just like me and acted like me. I would not care as long as I did not see any of it or have any idea it was happening. And I had no contact with them and I don't talk to them or anything. I don't care. Go off. I don't care. I'm over here, I'm doing my thing. I don't care. Do you, right? Um, right. So, like, maybe they just felt more comfortable being a guy, right? Like that's what I was thinking. Maybe they, right? And so also we wanted to convince each other that our characters like were reflections of each other, like that. Mark was a reflection of Snake, but also that Snake was a reflection of Jack, but also that Jack was a reflection of Vince, and Dez, I guess, was a reflection of Teo, but also Teo was sometimes Jack, but also, it was just like this thing. Um, um, and so we just really tried to convince each other, and I personally, I think we're both to blame on this. Personally, I think we were both to blame on this because I think we just really wanted to feel like we were meant to be with each other, and that was it. I don't think there was. I don't know. I didn't have any ill intentions. I just wanted to find my soulmate, dude. Like that's it. Like I just wanted to find my soulmate. That's it. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You seemed like you might have been, but then you ended up being a different person. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So um, so. It starts off cute. My mom bought them the same pair of Converse I draw Snake in all the time. Um, right. And their thing was, oh, well, I used to draw Matt in these Converse too. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's probably pretty understandable. I mean, Converse are kind of universal thing. Same color Converse, but it didn't matter, right? But then it kept evolving, and it was like this thing where they were almost like trying to show off how much more they could be like me than me in some ways. I don't know. And so there's like this whole thing in my comic about like Zero being manipulative and wanting to like, I don't know, drug people and hypnotize people and like take them away. And then they draw a comic page of Matt getting shot with a needle by Vincent and blacking out and everything. And I was like, okay, that's clearly inspired, but I'm just gonna, it was still just cute to me at this point. It was just cute to me at this point. And so, also, let me just know, the entire time I'm with them, we're at this apartment, right? And, this is around the time I'm also incredibly scared of like Freemasons and stuff like that because I think they're MK Ultra and all that shit. And so I blocked myself off from everybody in my life once I started dating them. Okay, like I blocked myself off from my best friend, I blocked myself off from my mom. I thought everybody was part of this cult besides Matt and that we were going to run away together and find a way to escape the cult somehow. That was my mindset. And so I, like, perfect environment for someone to manipulate you, right? And so, you know, I had a hard time being with them a lot of the time because they, well, they kind of made me dysphoric in a lot of ways, and it wasn't like their fault, and it's not their fault, and I'm not gonna blame them for that. But it's like I wish I was taller, and I don't know, I wish I could lose weight really easily, and it made me kind of upset that they were like this, and I was like, I don't know, my what I want, I just, you know what, I just want a short goth GF with big titties who's shorter than me. Like, that's it. Like, I'm honest. Like, I just want a short girlfriend, okay? I just, like, that's it. I want someone shorter than me. I just want to feel like the tall, skinny guy for once, I didn't like feeling, that's the other thing, is I didn't want to be with them if they were going to be a guy, because then I would get really fucking dysphoric, So, like, that was another part of it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just how it was. And I'm sure that just makes them feel so good for me to say that, but, you still got big tits, so, I don't know, if you're gonna make me feel that way, then, bitch, you too, bitch. I'm just cynical at this point, okay? Like, I'm cynical about it at this point, because I've been expecting this to happen at some point. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I knew it was going to catch me off guard, but I knew it was going to happen at some point. It's just very fucking obvious that they would do this. Call me out and shit, so, whatever. So, there was, I think, there may have been a time. I haven't read their call out post because I don't touch anything of theirs with like a 9-inch pole. 9-inch, 10-foot pole, 9-inch nails, 10-foot pole. What is it? Um, I don't touch any of their shit, right? I don't like it. Triggers me. It triggers me to think about them, see them, or anything. I hate their art. I hate all of it. I hate it. Hate it. I hate them. I hate them a lot. I hate them a lot. I really hate them. So I didn't look at it, but I think probably what they're gonna say is some shit. I don't know. I This is what I think they might be bringing up. Is I think there might have been a time that I like misread their signals and I might have like sucked on their tit or something. I don't remember. But then like I don't know. Whenever someone doesn't show interest, I just back off. I back off immediately. Like I don't know. That's just a turn off for me, right? Like that's just a turn off. Like I don't know. Like why would I fuck someone who's lifeless and disassociating and not interested? I don't know. That makes me personally uncomfortable because I've been in that situation many times. Okay? So, that's the only thing I can conceive that had happened. I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know if there's something else. I don't know if they're pulling some shit out of their ass. Because, you know what? I can pull some shit out of my ass, too. I think that they didn't like when I would, I don't know, like, perform oral. They didn't like when I did anything to them, right? They didn't want me to do anything to them. They wanted to do everything to me. And I think it was all just, like, a power thing, personally. I don't know. Like, I know that this is sort of just, like, a little bit out there, but this is just my own theory, I guess, personally. I just kind of feel like it was a power thing. Like they wouldn't let me have anything with them, but they wanted to perform all of this on me, and they wanted to do anal with me, like, a lot and shit, and there were times where I wanted it. I'm not gonna act like I didn't want it, but it just was weird that they never wanted me to do anything to them. I don't know, and I tried to be gentle with them, but they would just always tell me that, oh, well, I have this trauma from, their childhood rape thing with their friend Frankie, so I just felt like I couldn't really do anything with them ever a lot of the time. So, I don't know. I wouldn't. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So that's that. Like, I don't know. Like, we're both delusional, believing that we're each other's characters and shit. And I tried convincing myself that they were, like, it wasn't even, because they think that I was trying to make them MJ, but, like, MJ is just one of my characters. I don't know. I also imprinted Peaches on them. I also imprinted Novelli on them. I also imprinted Teo on them. I imprinted a lot of my characters onto them. Two of which who are not girls, so I don't know. Like, I guess I'm still trying to make them a girl, though. Whatever. And it was mostly Novelli that I imprinted on them, because they were so tall, and they're also non-binary, and also they're a Cancer, and, Novelli's all about the moon, and Cancers are a moon sign, so I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me in my mind, of believing that they're my twin flame, whatever, soulmate, that. But I don't know. Like, I would pretend to be Jack, but it felt different, and I don't know. It felt different to me, because it felt like whenever I would be myself, like Snake, myself, my big-eared bat self, it seemed like they didn't like me. Like, it didn't seem like they were as interested in me. It wasn't that they didn't like me, because they would tell me that they liked me, but they just weren't as interested in me. They didn't give that much of a fuck. Like, it's just they weren't that invested in me. But then when I would dress up as Jack, or, like, pretend I was Jack or anything like that, and put on a spiked collar and stuff like that, they were so interested, and it was at least entertaining. It was something to get their attention, because most of the time, they were just sitting on their computer all the fucking time. All the fucking time. I understand the work is stressful, but I don't know. Personally, when I have a stressful day, I like to go home and hug my significant other and tell them how much I love them and stuff like that, and do that kind of stuff. But no, they would just immediately go to the computer all the time. So I don't know. I was just there trying to get their attention constantly on their bed, and then eventually I would give up and go to my room. That was that. That's what would happen. And obviously the best way to get their attention was pretending to be Jack or drawing their OCs, because that's all they care about. Because here's the thing: the whole rape roleplay thing when they were kids. It's this whole thing where David, Nell, and Nathan and Frankie and their other friend Sloan, I think, uh, they were all their characters and everything. Nathan was Jack, David was Matt, Dez was I like I don't want to. I feel weird about it because like trans things, but like yeah. So they really like when people act as their characters. Like they really like that. It really gives them a lot of validation, it seems. Um, and I think it is part of their power complex personally. Personally, that's what I believe. I think that they have this power thing where they want people to be like their characters, and then so whatever way they edit their characters or draw their characters as, then that sets the tone for how people should act, and if they don't act that way, then they aren't allowed to be those characters anymore, basically. And basically you don't get the same amount of love as you would if you're not those characters. That's basically what would happen. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've never encountered something like that before. Uh, where someone has just been given that much power as a child. But obviously, if you're given that kind of power as a child, you're probably going to grow up thinking you're still entitled to it and grow up with a lot of toxic beliefs about what you're allowed to do, and especially about boundaries. And so, yeah, I don't know. But then, aside from all of that, so, like, I don't I don't understand. I don't understand. I've tried to figure out why. I've tried to figure out why. I have tried to figure out why. Okay, like there was just this day where I um I was walking into my room, and I don't remember. I think I was walking out of their room and into my room and doing something. I don't know. Um and I'm pretty sure I told them I was gonna be right back. Like this is I don't remember specifically, but I feel like this is what happened because a lot of the times I just did the same thing every day. So like if I got up and did something, I would have probably said that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I told them I would be right back. And then I'm in my room. I don't know. I'm just in the doorway of my room looking for something. I think I was gonna grab something, and then they just like come up behind me and grab me and start grinding on me. And I don't know what to do. I'm just sort of sitting there like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere. I've tried thinking about like why. Like why did it happen? Why did it happen? Like why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you treat me like this? I told you about my fucking brother. I told you what these people did to me. I told you. And you don't fucking listen. And it's just like this thing. It's this thing. We're like I I just want to understand. I just want to know why. I just want to know why. Why would you do that? I've already told you. I've already told you these things. I've already told you these things about these people and how they treat me. I've already told you. And you just want to treat me like you're just a fucking toy. Like you just wanted to use me, like that's all it was. That's all it was. It was just this power thing. You just wanted to show that you could exert power over me. That's it. You wanted to show that you wanted to show that you could exert power over me. And there would be no consequences, because it's true, there's gonna be no consequences. You already have 1,000,000,000 fucking followers. I don't fucking know how many. You have 1,000 people who already like you. You've already won over everyone. You've already called someone else out for sexually assaulting you, so that just makes it more likely, I guess, in other people's eyes, that you're gonna be the victim. You know, there's nothing I can do. You're just always gonna have this power. You're just always gonna be in this position of power, showing off that you did this to me, that you dominated me. That's it. That's all. That's all you ever wanted. That's all you ever wanted. That's all. That's all. And I thought you loved me. And I really believed it. I really thought I did. And he just wanted to hurt me the whole time. I don't understand you. I don't understand why. You know, because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, okay? Like, I really thought, because they paint themselves so, they do it so convincingly. They act like they're so innocent, they act like they're so peaceful and everything. I was so under this impression that even when I asked them about this, even when I brought this up to them, they were just like, no, I don't remember that. Like, you know, like, fuck you! Fuck you! You don't deserve shit, dude! Fuck you! You're destroying my fucking confidence. I was doing so much better. I was doing so much better. Just do it again. You just did it again. You just made it worse. You just made it worse. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. It hurts so much because I do care about them. You know? And I know I shouldn't, and it's really dumb for me. And they could just manipulate me if they wanted to. But I do. I just want. I just wanted people to be happy. And then. What? Why? Why? I just want to know why. I just want to know why. I just want to know why. It's not cool or funky fresh to cry, but it's just I don't know. I don't understand. Don't understand. I've tried. I want to understand it. This is probably my biggest issue is that I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Even my fucking brother, who didn't deserve it, right? Like, even though my brother sexually assaulted me when I was a child, I still would hang out with him when I was a teenager and still smoke weed with him, and I still just wanted to see the good in him. I still just wanted to have the good friendship we had when we were kids. That's all I wanted, you know? But I couldn't, there's no way to go back. There's no way to go back. I can't see him any other way now. I can't. And it's the same thing with Matt. It's the same fucking thing. They're just gross. They're just so gross. I hate them so much. I hate them so much. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. It hurts so much. Because I did care so much about them. And then I had to just change this. I had to change my idea of them. Just so I could be safe. Just so I could get away from them. I can't, I don't know why, I don't. Just, and I tried, I even tried to downplay it in my own mind too, I thought, oh, well, it was just a one-time thing. That Matt, that crazy wild Matt that just sexually assaults people. I guess when you present your characters as rapists in your notebooks, you're allowed to get away with anything at that point. I should have known. I mean, they were showing me these pictures of, their characters as rapists. I should have seen that and been like, oh, well, this person's probably a rapist too. But no, I have to assume the best out of people, cause I don't know. I just want people. I like to imagine that people are honest. I like to imagine that, but people just really keep disproving that to me continuously. I haven't even. Ugh. I'm sweating so much now. Oh god. I haven't even gotten dressed today. I woke up and I came on the computer and I went on DeviantArt and see that my ex apparently called me out, and of course I have to, because the internet. Because if I don't, then everybody's gonna go on and act like I'm the worst person in the world, even though they did shit to me. Whatever, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but, I can't care about the internet. I hate using the internet so much now. So, that happened, and this whole time I'm still with them, probably for another year, I think. Maybe half a year, maybe a little bit over half a year, I don't remember. And, I keep trying to bring up that I think they're copying me and stuff, because they would do things, I don't know, I encourage them to draw more with more colors in their art, right? because a lot of their art was just very dull. If I can say so personally. Um, and so that was cool when they started to do that, but then, like, it just sort of turned into this thing where they were trying to copy my psychedelic pattern thing going on that I draw a lot. Um, and I would just try to call them out for it and be like, hey, this is making me uncomfortable, I don't like that you do this. And they would basically just be like, well, I'm not copying you. And I'm like, okay, well, either way, I still feel this way, so I think we should break up. And then that would make them emotional, and then they would try to guilt trip me to stay with them again, basically. Um, and then I would try to stay with them again, and then the same thing, it just kept happening. It kept happening every time. Um, I have receipts of this. There are conversations that we had on Facebook about this before, and they're very clearly manipulating me in them. I could go look them up right now, but it'd be a lot to dig through, so I don't know if I want to do that right now. But yeah, and so it was just something like that. They also started to grow their hair out long like me too. Um, they listen to the same music as me. There would be things where like I would be like, "Hey, have you ever heard of this song?" They were like, "No," and then they would listen to it and they would like it. And then later on, like I would like they would show the song to me and be like, "Hey, look at the song." I was like, "But I showed you this," or something, or like it was more like it wasn't that specifically. It was more like it was like that, but it was like I was like fuck, like I like oh fuck, like trying to find a way to word this. I'm very bad with wording things. So they like they would act like they knew about things like all along. Like I would show them something and then they would act like they knew about it all along. Actually, like oh well, I did know about this. And I was like, oh well, you didn't say before. You said you didn't know, and now you are saying that you do. Apparently, it was stuff like that. Um, they just would mirror me constantly, and at first it was like this thing to lure me in, but then it became more of a thing to like almost mock me. Like I would make it clear because my issue is I unfortunately am like this because my when I was younger, my sister would like for example, we watched Teen Titans, right? And wanted to be Raven because at the time I was a cis girl and I didn't think I could be boys openly because people would make fun of me probably. Um, but I wanted to be Raven, but she was like, "No, you can't be Raven. You have to be Starfire. I'm more like Raven, actually. I'm Raven." So it would be like stuff like that. So like my siblings would gatekeep identities for me basically. I couldn't be things because I wasn't cool enough or something essentially. And it really fucked me up and really fucked up my perception of myself, okay? Like a lot. Like I don't know. Like I have this entire vision of myself that my siblings mostly have created of me that is not like how I am at all, and it's just like this. I don't know. It's really shitty. They're really shitty people. So yeah, I struggle a lot with my identity, and once I find something about myself that I like, that like when I find something about myself at all, I don't know, not even stuff that I like I cling on to it. I want to hold on to it strongly so that I don't forget, so that other people can't make me forget, like my sister did. Like my sister would try to convince me that I wasn't like Raven and shit. Whatever. Stuff like that. Like I don't know. It wasn't just Raven. It was other characters. It was a lot of shit. But whatever. And so it seemed like they wanted to push this and taunt me with it. Like they thought it seemed like they thought that I was trying to prevent them from being things, whereas it was more like I just feel really uncomfortable with this. I want to remove myself from the situation. I don't know. If you feel manipulated by me wanting to remove myself from situations that make me uncomfortable, I don't know. I feel like that says a lot about how much you like to manipulate people, but also that's a you problem. That's not my problem. I should not have to deal with that. I should not have to fix that for you. I don't know. But yeah, they would. It seemed like they wanted to test my boundaries. They wanted to test my boundaries about what they could get away with and do till I would get uncomfortable. And it just got to this point where, like, I was so fucking uncomfortable all the time, and I couldn't do anything or say anything because I was a bad person that was trying to keep them away from exploring their identity or whatever. But no, I just was uncomfortable. I don't know what to tell you. I just wanted to be away from you. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't want to date someone who is just like me. I don't think that's cute. I don't think it's cute. I don't want to date someone who's just like me. It's creepy. It's weird. It's really weird. That episode of Broad City where she fucks someone who looks like herself, that's weird. That's really fucking weird to me. I think that's really fucking weird. That's weird. That should be shunned. It should be treated the same way as, like, vor fetishist, which my ex is also, might I say, for no reason other than just to make fun of them. That's literally the only reason for me to say that. I think it's funny. So I'm so sweaty. My chair is so wet. This is so bad. God. So yeah, I have a lot of BPD tendencies. So when people do that stuff, it really fucks with my identity and fucks with my perception. And I was like, I didn't want them to get to a point where they were going to be like, I feel like I'm Snake too. Because that's the thing that would made me cringe the most. Because I've tried to date someone who I thought was Snake before, and it just doesn't work out because I realized that I'm actually Snake, you know? Like, this is what happened. There's so many stories I gotta go into. I have an interesting life. So there was a time when I was like 16 when I was trans. I came out as a trans guy, but then I tripped on some acid with my brother's friends, and then feeling like I didn't measure up to their athletic ability, I felt like I couldn't be a guy, basically. While we were tripping. And so I went back on being a guy, and then I, like, pretended to be a girl, and I thought, maybe if I can't be Snake, then the next best thing is to date him, right? And so I would try to find people who reminded me of Snake. But then I just found this guy who doesn't remind me of Snake, but, you know, I don't know, he has a persona that has bat wings, so, ooh, even though he's a dragon kind of person. Well, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, during that relationship, I just kind of realized, no, I am Snake. But I don't want to be in, like, why would I get with someone, like, I don't know how to explain it, because let me just make something clear. They once admitted to me that they used to be a bully when they were a kid. So I think that explains a lot of their behaviors personally. They're just used to being a bully. They're used to treating people like shit. So, it seemed like they, I don't know, like, I don't know. I just did not want to be with someone who was gonna, well, first of all, I didn't want to be with someone who thought they were Snake, and I wasn't. But also, I didn't want to be with someone who was pretending that they thought they were Snake just to fuck with me and push my boundaries and see how much they can pretend to be like me until I snap. Because I snapped. Oh, I fucking snapped. Oh, bitch, did I snap. And I was so fucking delusional when we, like, broke up and all this shit happened. Because they just kept pushing me. Every time I would get uncomfortable and it would just go too far, I would say, hey, I want to break up with you. And then they would try to get me to date them again. It was just this constant loop. They would just constantly do it. It was just this thing all the time. I wanted to get away from them, but I also, I also felt bad for them because they didn't really have anywhere else to go. They could go live with Frankie, who they had a weird rape relationship with that they thought was so abusive at the time, but apparently changed their mind when they decided I was abusive instead. Oh my god, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I watch some of Vosh's videos, right? And, like, the way he describes, like, woke scolds and then, like, abusive woke scolds, it's exactly how my ex is. Like, they act the same exact way. They do the same shit, you know? Oh my god, like, whenever they decide that someone's horrible, they just completely do a complete shift, a complete tonal shift, and they try to eradicate them from the earth, essentially. Like, I don't know, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you like a soldier? Are you like doing this for a cause? Are you like a, a fascist? Like, what is happening? Okay, anyways, I'm going off. Fuck me. So, yeah, basically they were copying me a lot, and a huge source of issue with our relationship was that I was the sun and they were the moon, right? And I thought this was just like a cute thing, like, like I was the sun because in my Vedic astrology chart I'm a Leo sun, and they're a moon because in their tropic astrology chart they're a Cancer, and it was cute. And I was like, this is cute. We're like yin and yang. We're like balancing each other and shit, right? But then they decided they actually wanted to be the sun. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I don't matter anymore and don't exist. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Are we just supposed to both be the sun? Like, that seems kind of weird. Especially alongside everything else you're doing. The shoes, the hair, the flaunting your green jacket shit. And I don't know, just, I don't know, acting like, oh, well, I listened to Foster the People too when I was younger, so maybe I am also Snake too. Haha. Checkmate, Snake. I got you. Haha. Haha. Like, what is wrong? Don't you want to be? Thing is, the reason they are so flippant with their personality and being whatever they want, the reason they can just dress up like Snake and taunt me and stuff like this and like try to see how much of my boundaries they can push is because they don't have an identity. They don't have anything they can latch onto. They don't have that. They don't have anything, so they latch onto everybody else's identity. Everybody else's identity. They just conglomerate all the things that they like about everybody else into themselves, and they take on their jokes, they take on their wisdom, they take on all that stuff. I remember this one time I was giving advice to one of their friends through them, and they just acted like they gave that advice, Like, it's just a thing that they would do all the time. They would just, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. It's crazy making. It made me fucking crazy. It drove me crazy. I had so many seizures when I was around this individual. And I mean, like, I have seizures a lot, right? Like, I have seizures at least, like, once or twice a month, right? But this was, like, all the time. And I only have seizures when I feel like I'm, like, inadequate or shitty or something like that. They're non-epileptic seizures, so they're caused more by PTSD and trauma and stuff. And so mine kind of happen when I have really negative thoughts about myself that are just consistent and hammering into my head. And so, like, one of the ways that they would, like, because, like, I tried to think about it, because I was like, how did they convince me that I was so shitty? How did I get to this point, right? And at first I thought it was because I did something really shitty. I analyzed all my behavior. I remembered pretty much everything I can remember, about what I might have done, and everything I've done still does not seem to compare to what they did to me. Right, using my family, sexually assaulting me, right? Again, forcing yourself on me when there was no way you could have misread any signal or anything at all. I was literally just standing in my room, right? It's just, so, like, they made me feel like a shitty person because they used, I would not have noticed this at all, because they used, like, Tumblr moral gatekeeping shit to basically shame me into thinking I was shitty, So, like, I would have questions about stuff because I'm not perpetually on Tumblr, so I don't know every single detail about being woke, unfortunately. So I would ask them questions about, like, I don't know, something about black people or trans people, like trans women or something specifically, or non-binary people, and they would tell me. And it seemed like because I didn't know, I was bad, or I was lesser than them. It seemed like they took a lot of thrill and joy out of lecturing people and being the superior in morals and knowing all the wisdom of being morally perfect in every way. And oh, shame on Snake for even daring to think of non-binary people in this way. How dare you try to categorize things in masculine and feminine? You are not only unwoke, you are a Nazi fascist for it, essentially. Because they did the same essentialist stuff, you know, like they would. ContraPoints explains it perfectly in her canceling video. All of that shit, all that essentialism and abstraction stuff was stuff that they did all the time. All the time. And, you know, it was just like, basically, like, if there was ever somebody that, like, I saw, like, similar, like, they had a similar history to me, but they were shitty, and I saw my ex shaming this person relentlessly, it made me feel like I could never say anything and be like, well, you know, maybe we could have, like, the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this person will change, or maybe we could help change them. No, they would have looked at me with, like, a death glare, for sure. They would have. They would have. There was no way I could have suggested that. Also, I just want to say, because I know that they called me out and they tried to say, I said the N-word once, like, recently. When they said the N-word, like, okay, so I've already called myself out about this, but when I was like 11, no, not 11, like 14, 13, something like that, I said the N-word all the time online. I don't know, it was stupid. Everybody else was doing it. Everybody thought it was normal up until 2015 or 2013, I think, when everybody decided it's time to be woke. So now I was shamed for all my past stuff. Yeah, basically. And so that stuff got resurfaced later on my Tumblr, and they acted like I was crying about it. I was so upset that, you know, these people were shaming me for saying the N-word in the past, and how could I offer any sympathy to Snake when he said that in the past? And I was just like, lol, I don't care. When well, first of all, I don't remember crying at all. I just remember being really frustrated. But also, then they go on to say, like, and then he shouted the N-word at some point, and I'm like, when, hold up. This entire time you've been shaming me for all of my behavior. I've been so insecure about all of my behavior that anything I say that could be contrary to your opinion, you take it as a threat and act like I'm just gonna attack you instead of, I don't know. So this entire time you're shaming me, you really think I'm gonna say the N-word around you when you shame me that much for even asking a question about trans women or something? You really think I would do that? Do you really think I would do that? Do you really think that story holds that well? Do you really think that holds very well? And also, they too said the N-word all the time back in 2013 and 2012, and they admitted it on Facebook fucking Messenger to me. So I don't know, dude. Like, what? Okay, sure. Sure, alright, but so when I get called out for it and found out about it, I'm bad. But when you don't get called out for it and no one discovers that you did it, you're good. You're fine. You're still a good person. I see how it is. So it's all about image, and it's not actually about people being good people, huh? Yeah, that's really all it is. That's all they care about. The only thing they care about is image. That's why when you go on their page, the only thing they ever talk about is how much of a victim they are, and, I don't know, all this SJW shit, which I don't have really an issue with, but, like, you know, it's just all, like, this thing to make themselves look good. It's not, like, a thing where they actually care about any of this shit. They don't care about any of this shit. They don't care about any of their followers. They pretend to care because these people give them validation. They give them attention. They give them, oh, I just remembered something that my ex did. Oh, guys, oh, look, oh, I'm so weak and a victim, even though I'm pulling this all out of my ass, even though I'm misconstruing a situation entirely, or I'm blatantly lying and saying that my ex said the N-word out loud in 2018 in front of me. um, look at me, I'm such a victim. And then they all pour in, they're like, oh my god, poor Comic Kid. Oh my god, poor Comic Kid. Oh my god, Comic Kid. Oh my god, Matt, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, poor you. Oh my god. Can you imagine? I can't believe it. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Can you ever admit when you've done something wrong ever in your fucking life? Ever in your fucking life? Because I know that you've probably done a ton of shit. You probably have so many, well, I know for a fact you have many skeletons in the closet, but aside from everything you did to me, I could just sense that you've done a lot of dumb, really shitty things in your childhood. And I know I kind of have a glimpse of this too, because, well, you kind of admitted it to me when you would show me some of that shit. But, you know, the thing is, you could admit all day to me anything you wanted to, and it wouldn't have mattered at the end of the day. Because you knew you had more social capital over me. You knew that you could still use your power over me. You knew that even if I called you out for everything, everybody else would still suspect that I'm wrong. Because, well, I don't know, people are very shallow and they go off of aesthetics. They see you being this sunny, flowery person, and they see me, I don't know, drawing knives into shit and drawing this edgy shit, and they think I'm evil. But also, you just lie all the time, constantly, to make yourself seem like more of a victim than you are. And it's not even like that I'll act like they aren't a victim. I'm sure that in some ways, because I think that them constantly clinging on to me to, like, stay with me, even though I didn't want to, even though I wasn't interested in them, was them, I don't know, I think that was just them being really insecure and codependent. And I think that they developed that shit, well, they had a shitty childhood, but they also developed that shit because, I don't know, well, probably because of their shitty childhood. Maybe because of David, I don't know. I don't really remember, honestly. Shit. I just, like, I don't know, like, cause, so, like, I can recognize that they had their issues, and I'm not acting like they did not have their issues. I don't think that I play this huge role in it that they think I do, personally. And I know that that doesn't really make me look good. I'm the one being accused of abuse, so me saying that I don't think I did something doesn't necessarily make me look good, but I don't have it in me to want to manipulate you. I wanted you to be yourself all the time. I was like, be who you want. I want you to be yourself. I wanted to see what kind of person they would come. Even if they would end up similar to me, it would have been cool to see what kind of person they became. But they do all this shit to me. They treat me like shit. And it's hard for me to give a fuck about them after that point. It's hard for me to give them that same kind of fuck that I did give them. It's hard for me to be as lenient as I was, letting them push all my boundaries and mirror me and do all of this shit where they're trying to copy me as much as they did, and still have sympathy for them after, you know, and them sexually assault me, and then still have sympathy for them after that point. What the fuck do you expect? I don't like you. And that's what I feel like this is coming down to, is that they're upset that they have fucked up. They have fucked up a relationship that they just can't get back. Because they're so used to, with Frankie and Sloane and everybody else, fucking up their relationship with them, and then them coming back later on because they're all just very toxic with each other, and that's just their toxic friendship, and they're never going to go to therapy together and fix anything, and whatever. Whatever. Have fun with it. Abuse each other for all I fucking care. You know, and so, God, like, I don't even know where it's. I just think it's so weird. It's so weird. Why would you tell me that these people are so shitty and abusive, and then go to live with them? I don't get it. I don't understand how I was that bad, personally. I don't know. Personally, maybe, I don't know. I mean, listen, if you've deluded yourself so much to the point where you think that I've done something really horrible and shitty, that's fine. I don't care. You can leave, because, you know what, if you're already in that mind state, then you might as well, you know, leave, because you're gonna believe it, and you're gonna, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I've done. I've asked them many times what I've done. Many times. Many times. They're not really able to give me a concise answer. They're just sort of like, well, my friends think you're kind of manipulative with your language. I showed them my texts and stuff, and I'm like, okay, your friends are gonna have a biased opinion. Because, first of all, they're your friends. You're telling them everything on your side, right? You're probably gonna make it sound like you're the victim. None of these people have talked to me, gotten my side or anything at all, right? So, obviously, they're probably going to be biased in your favor, and if you say something, like, if you just showed it as it is, it probably would have been like, yeah, that seems kind of shitty, but then you would say something like, oh, but then he did this thing, like, he also really wanted me to be a girl, so, like, it has, like, this double meaning, so, like, it's worse, actually, like, it's just really easy to manipulate your friends, and also, your friends aren't psychologists, dude. I don't know what to tell you on that one. I've been going to therapy, actually, like the good little schoolboy that I am. Unlike you. And, oh god, this shit pisses me off too, because I tried going to therapy with them so much towards the end of that relationship. I tried going with them in general, but they just at first it was like they were like, yeah, we'll do a therapy appointment together, and then towards the end of the month when the therapy appointment is coming up, I've already told them about it. They said that they were going to take off for work, and they were like, no, actually, I just don't think that therapy is going to help that much. And I'm like, okay, so you don't want to go to therapy because of what reason exactly? Because I don't know if they just think that therapists are just really biased or something. But my therapist is not biased. My therapist will tell me how it is, okay? My therapist has told me that I have said some things that seem narcissistic, because I wanted to dissect this all with my therapist, right? I wanted to see if I actually was narcissistic. So I did tell her everything honestly. I told her everything I've done, and she just thinks that, I don't know, me... I like, my tendency to want friends who are, like, perfect sometimes can be kind of narcissistic, but that's really it. That's, like, I wish I had perfect friends, but I also realize that I'm never going to have perfect friends, so it's not really a thing that haunts me, and also, I don't know, whatever. So, like, I talk to her a lot about shit, about everything. If she thought I was manipulating things while we were talking to each other, and if she heard your story, and you told your story honestly, she would have taken your side and told me that I was being shitty. I know this for a fact. I know this. But the reason I think they didn't want to go to therapy, actually, was because then they would realize that they don't actually have anything on me, and that they were being fucking manipulative. Because why the fuck else wouldn't you go? And the only other thing is that I can think of is that you think that my therapist is biased, which I'm pretty sure many times I have told you that my therapist is not biased. I've gone to biased therapists before. But this one is not biased. She does not give that much of a fuck. She will say it how it is. I love her for it, honestly. I can't stand people who are just dishonest and pretend that things are, a certain way when they're not. So, yeah, I that's the only thing I can assume, is that you just thought that, you didn't want to get caught. Like, that's really it. You just didn't want to get caught. You just didn't want you didn't want my therapist to be like, oh, well, this thing that you do is kind of manipulative, You didn't want that. You didn't want that. So, yeah. I don't know. That's basically the entire story of me and my ex. We broke up after after the point where I just could not take them copying me anymore, absorbing me, draining me of all my colorful creativity so they can create this gross industrial version of it instead, this gross copy capitalist version instead. I don't know. Not capitalist, but just like, like misappropriated version. I don't know. I couldn't take it anymore. I yelled at them that time, and then they moved out, and that was that. And then I tried having a friendship with them after that point, but then more and more I started to realize that they did actually sexually assault me. That was what happened, that I wasn't crazy, that it wasn't just something that was normal and just like happened. It wasn't just like a quirky thing that happened. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't like a thing where they misread the situation. It wasn't any of that. It wasn't. I've thought about it. How? How would it have been a mistake? What is the justification? What? What is the justification here? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. What's going on? What's the justification? Cuz I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I thought maybe it was them getting payback on me for treating their cat like shit. But honestly, if you wanted to get payback on me, what you could have done is you could have taken your cat into your room and blocked me out. I think that would have been more effective and also would have actually taught me why I was being shitty rather than sexually assaulting me. So I've ruled that out. I don't think that's the reason. I don't think they were doing it just to get back at me. I really think it's just a power thing. That's it. They just want power. They just want power. They just want to have power over people. That's it. And they're, I guess, more details, they're really into vor. Their character Perry is a rapist, and their character Perry was really into voring people and eating people. Because it wasn't even a thing where they got off on it. It was just a thing where they just wanted to kill people and eat them, kind of thing. And I don't think that that necessarily means they're a cannibal, but I think it means that they just don't care about people. Like, that's it. Like, they don't care about people. They treat them like objects, like food, basically. you know. And yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's basically it. That's all. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's I don't know why they're so shitty. I don't know why they're like this. They're an only child. I can only assume that they just grew up learning to manipulate for themselves because it was the only way they could survive in their abusive situation with their family. And because they were an only child, I think they had a hard time making friends, and so they would manipulate situations to, I don't know, get friends. Basically, that's the vibe I get from them. You know, they would pretend to be a good they realize, I think, at some point that being a good person, or at least pretending to be a good person, and being someone who pretends to be perpetually, like, morally woke and everything all the time, gets them positive attention. But also, it does attract abusive people who are very similar to them. I'll say that much. So, yeah, that's really it. That's that. That's my story. That's my side. I don't know. I don't really feel the need to offer them any type of sympathy or anything. I don't really give a fuck about them. I don't give a fuck what happens to them. They could die and I wouldn't be phased. I would feel sad that, you know, it had to be like this, that we couldn't have actually have been like friends at some point, but that's just never going to happen at all anyways, because I just can't be friends with them. I can't be friends with someone like that. I can't. I see an image of what they could be like as a good person, but I don't know if they're ever going to get there. And I was fed up with it, and I'm not willing to wait anymore for them to get to that point. So, you know, yeah, that's my side. That's my side of the story. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say after that. Like, that's really it. I think I've pretty much exhausted every single point that I could have. I don't know. They were just really, like, emotionally abusive the entire time I was with them. Like, that's really most of it. They would manipulate me a lot when I was with them. Just making me feel like I'm unimportant unless I'm, like, Tumblr morally perfect and stuff. Like, when I was on Tumblr and I was posting woke posts and stuff, I would get attention from them, so that's cool. I'm glad that me posturing myself to look woke gets their attention, because that's what they do too, so, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a shitty situation. I don't know what to say about it. Because it sucks, because I do sometimes get hopeful. Like, sometimes I'll have, like, dreams, and they're like in my dreams, and we're like getting along like we used to. And I wish sometimes that we could get along like we used to, even if as just friends. But like I I can't get over this. I can't get over this. This shit haunts me at night. Like, this shit haunts me all the time. I can't sleep in my bed with my back turned to anything exposed. Like, I need to be against a wall, and even if I'm against a wall, I'm uncomfortable. You know, because I don't know. I can't escape it. I can't escape feeling like someone's trying to sexually assault me all the time. I can't escape the feeling now. It's just. And you're just gonna go online and act like I'm the one who's fucking suffering like shit over here. I'm the one who's suffering the consequences of your fucking actions. And you're over here, you broke up with me, and it didn't faze you. It barely fazed you from what I saw. From what I saw from far away, you didn't post much, you barely said anything. You only waited until a year later to shit talk me. So, the fact that you don't even seem fazed by this is just something to make you seem like a fucking victim. That's it. Like, I don't know. If I did hurt you in some way, and I just don't remember it at all for some reason, if I specifically raped you or something, I don't think I did, because I can't imagine I would ever do that to anybody, given what I've gone through. But if you really think I did, maybe you've just created a false memory or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't want to say that you created a false memory, because that makes me look bad. But still, I'm sorry if that happened. I'm sorry. But you're not sorry for what you did to me. So, you know, fuck you. Get fucked. And end your life in Minecraft, right? You know, like, I don't care about you. I don't give a fuck about you. Anything could happen to you. Anything could happen to you. And I would just, I wouldn't even laugh. I would just shrug it off. I'd be like, oh, look, an irrelevant person getting hurt. Basically. I don't know. That's really it. That's all I've got. That's all I've got on this. I don't know. Probably make myself look bad in every conceivable way, but I'm emotional and I don't give a fuck right now. I can't give a fuck right now. They're a shitty person. I don't know what to say. If there's any creepypasta people watching this, you've been duped. You've been fucking duped by this individual. They've convinced you into thinking they're the sweet, innocent person. Okay, they're not. They're really not. They're not at all. At all. They're the complete opposite of what you imagine. Okay? And I used to be like you, okay? Like, I used to, I wasn't a fan of them. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, I just finally turned around, so I'm facing my computer now. Yeah, thank you. I don't know, this is a lot, but it's all over the place, whatever. So, like, I knew about them through David, so I was in the Marble Hornets fandom, right? And I really resented the fact that the creepypasta fandom was always, like, associated with the Marble Hornets fandom, because I guess I thought Marble Hornets was the sophisticated version of creepypasta or something. I don't know. So I really resented the creepypasta fandom. I really, like, just resented the creepypasta fandom, you know? I didn't like the way that they treated the characters from Marble Hornets. I thought that they just, like, ignored the fact that Marble Hornets was a thing, and, just kind of took the characters from Marble Hornets and added them to creepypasta, and I was like, these people are actually working on this project, and it's really important to them, and I don't know, if you actually gave a fuck about it, maybe I would hate you less. But yeah, I just didn't really like creepypasta, but because other people associate creepypasta with Marble Hornets, like David, a lot of people would, you know, do that stuff, you know, and so David would David was the one who introduced Matt to me. He was like, "Oh, well, my friend, my very cool friend, writes this popular comic on creepypasta. I'm sure you've heard of it." I was like, "No, no, no, I don't give a fuck about that shit. No, no, I've never heard of it. Sorry, sir." So yeah, I did hang out with them before we actually started dating, and I had this. God, they're so. You could just tell. You could just tell. You can't tell at first because, like, at first they just seem like, like maybe they're just shy. Maybe they're just sort of a little bit antisocial, like, no, no. They're just so, like, absorbed into their own asshole that they don't really give a fuck about anybody else. They don't even remember who I was when we started dating. Like, they didn't even remember that, like, we knew each other before that point. I know that I had also transitioned, but, like, they didn't even, even when I told them, like, the stuff we did, they just did not remember, So, like, they just don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They only wanted me there to praise them for their artwork. I would show off my artwork, and I would be like, look at my Marble Hornet stuff I'm doing, like, isn't this cool? And they would just be like, cool. And then they would turn around to their computer and be like, look at all this stuff. Look at Grinny. Look at all these characters and look at all this stuff I've written and everything. It's so funny and wacky. Haha, I know. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing that you're reading this. Haha, haha. I'm getting such a sexual thrill out of this. Haha, it's so embarrassing that you're reading this. Haha, like that's it. That's all. They just wanted me there to praise them. They didn't care about me being there at all. And that's how they're gonna treat all of their fans all the time. And I know after me saying all this shit, they're gonna completely act differently and pretend they care. But it will become obvious to some people, I'm sure. I'm sure it will become obvious to some people. Okay? I don't know. I don't know what to say about you, dude. I really wish that you could get therapy. I've been saying that you should go to therapy this entire time, but I recognize that some people can't afford therapy, so I hope you can get some type of unbiased professional help. There are good YouTubers out there, actual therapists on YouTube. They exist. I recommend you look into it. Don't just look at all the narcissistic abuse channels, because a lot of those people aren't even psychologists. A lot of them are just really emotional people, emotionally charged about their past relationships. So you have to really wade through the trash to actually find anything about actual narcissists, Just my tips. Not that you really deserve any tips from me. I've already given you plenty of advice and help in my fucking life. All of that money that you mooched off of from my mom and shit and everything, all the advice I've ever told you about anything that you probably tell other people now. You're welcome, but, suck my dick also. So, I don't know, dude. Get fucked. Get fucked. I don't know, that's really it. That's really it. I'm gonna take a hit of this weed because this is stressing me out. The weirdest thing, the creepiest thing actually, was how after we broke up a year later, when I was living with my mom, I brought it up to her. I texted her and I was like, I think my ex sexually assaulted me. And my mom started to have a conversation with me about how, she didn't want to say anything at the time, but, like, she realized, like, how much they were controlling me and manipulating me. And how, quote, they wrapped you in like tentacles around you. Like she said this, which is really fucking weird because the OC that they identify with, Dez, is a tentacled creature, and I was like, she has no idea about their artwork or anything like that. So the fact she says this, I don't know. I don't know. That's just really fucking creepy. I don't know. I just think that they're a fucked up individual who wants to rape people. Also, it really made me uncomfortable that Dez raped a female character in their comic who has my dead name. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable, and she's also short. I'm short. I just kind of feel like there might have been maybe something going on there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much. But I just feel like there's quite possibly something in there, and I just wish they could own up to any of this, any of it, because I feel like even though my sexual abusers don't deserve any of my kind of forgiveness, if they can show to me how they hurt me, and that they recognize how they hurt me, and that they're genuinely sorry, I'm gonna have much more of a propensity to forgive you than any other, like, otherwise I just don't give a fuck about you. Like, I don't care about you. Like, at least my brother was able to look me in the eyes and say he was sorry about what happened in our childhood. Even if it was kind of a half-assed, like, he didn't want to exactly say that he sexually assaulted me, you know? At least he has the conscience enough to say something. And my brother's kind of a shitty fucking person. Like, a really shitty person. But, like, God, there's something about covert narcissistic people that they're just, like, nasty, evil, like, super villains. Like, they do manipulative shit underneath the surface of everything. At least, like, an actual, like, narcissist will just be obviously a narcissist. But, like, covert narcissists, no. They gotta be secretive about it. And they're so much better at getting away with shit. So, whatever. I need to go fill up my water. I'll be right back. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if their call out post is just another way to try to take me down. Like, that's it. You know, like, it's not really a thing they actually care about. I just think it's something they just want an excuse to tear me down. So, I didn't even see what it was, but from the link I saw that it said something like, here's a list of the people who have sexually assaulted me, which is like a really fucking weird thing to post. Like, I'm not gonna just post a list of, here's the list of people who've sexually assaulted me. My brother, this one guy I went and fucked when I was 18. Like, I'm not gonna do that because, first of all, some of those people aren't even online, so what's the point? And also, if you're posting it online, it's clear you might have a specific agenda of hurting those people who are also online. I don't know. So, it just kind of feels like this is something they already want to kick me when I'm down, you know. I just think that they're jealous, quite honestly. Like, I hate saying this, because I don't like to come to that conclusion about anybody. I don't know. But I really do think that they're, I don't know, jealous of me in a way. I think that they might think... I think that they think that they have been slacking in their art for so long, because they spent a lot of years just, like, not doing anything. And they see me drawing, and they get insecure about that. And, you know, I think that they thought that, after we broke up, that I was just gonna stop drawing, because they did say something while we were dating, something along the lines of, oh, whenever I hang out with people, they just stop drawing for some reason, you know? And now it's starting to sound like kind of a threat to me, whereas back then I was just sort of like, that's weird. I don't know, why would that happen? That's sort of weird. I don't know why would I stop drawing? I don't... But, I'm not gonna stop. Like, you don't control my life. You're an irrelevant piece of shit. And also, just to clear the air, because I'm sure that they think that I imprint zero onto them, too. I don't. They're their own piece of shit. They've definitely created their own piece of shit. They can be Perry all they want. They can have that piece of shit personality if they want to. I don't care. They don't they don't even have anywhere as near the same power Zero does in my comic, first of all. But also just, you know, like, they've made their own brand of piece of shit. They don't need to be Zero. I don't need to see them as Zero to see them as a piece of shit, basically. You know, here's another thing I did. I would unplug the internet at night because I was paranoid of the internet waves brainwashing my mind to make me a zombie and kill people or something. Like that's basically it. I thought that I thought that I was being taken away in the night by MK Ultra people, and they would either drug me or use some sort of brainwave. I didn't know if the brain it was either that the brainwaves would control my body to make me do things I didn't want to do, or the brainwaves would give me headaches or something to prevent me from drawing or something. I don't know. That's what was in my head. I don't know. So I would turn off the internet at night because it would make me fucking paranoid. And I'm sure they have, even though they understood it at the time, they have now decided that I'm doing it to not allow them access to the internet, which is really stupid, because I'm pretty sure they could have just used their phone, but okay, like, I don't, whatever, okay, apparently I'm not this paranoid person, and I'm just extremely calculated, and I have these very specific tactics, like turning off the internet to control people. Yeah, sure, you really think I'm that smart? Come on, you're giving me too much credit. Are you fucking kidding me? I can barely cook food for myself. Are you fucking shitting me? I don't know, like, I was just... I like, blocked followers of mine on DeviantArt because I was so paranoid that they were part of this cult with, like, no reason to think that they were, other than they were following me for a long time, so surely they were watching me, you know? Surely they were watching me to get info on me so they could use that info against me and prevent me from being myself or some shit. I don't know. Dating someone who's abusive when you're already very delusional is not great. And it's definitely a step worse when that person pretends to be a morally perfect person and uses your delusions to make you look bad. I'll just say that much. Like, okay, we get it. You don't like mentally ill people. It's fine. You know, whatever. Oh, no, wait. You like mentally ill people. You only like feminine or non-binary mentally ill people. You hate anyone masculine, I'm sure. Yeah. 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 Any masculine or male mentally ill person is just shitty and terrible and toxic. That's probably what you got in your mind. I don't know. Maybe you've changed since then, but I'm working off of who you were, okay? I'm operating off of who you were at this time, okay? So yeah, that's really it. I don't have anything else to go off of. I don't have anything else to add. I don't know. I don't want to visit this again. I guess I'll post it on my YouTube so that if anyone has an issue, I can just show them this video and never have to come back to it ever again, you know? But yeah, that's this. Thank you for listening, I guess. Careful who you trust online. Don't let yourself be so blinded by influencers that you just believe anything out of them. Believe their persona or anything. Because people can really very easily pretend to be innocent people. It's not hard to go online and put up this aesthetic of peaceful flower person. Everything's yellow. It's not hard to pretend to be, like, a completely shitty different person than you are. But those people exist. And I'm just gonna say, you know, be careful. You've been warned. I don't know. Yeah. So, thanks for watching.